Today we are diving into the top 5 features of the brand new iOS 17 update. It's expected to launch on the 18th of September, so let's go over them and see what you should get excited about. Let's start this list off with my personal favorite, which is customizable wallpapers. I have loved all of the options that Apple gave us in iOS 16, and this was one of the first things I did on my iPhone 14 Pro. With all of the fonts, all of the colors, everything that you could change. But now in iOS 17, you will be also able to customize the fonts in another way. You will be able to adjust the thickness of your times. Now picture this, you have quite the perfect photo for your new wallpaper, but there's one problem, it doesn't have the right aspect ratio, and when you try to apply it, it just crops in way too much. Well, in iOS 17, they have a fix for this. Apple will generate this extra section for your time to fit. I just hope they improve on this a little bit more when the final version comes out, because currently it's kind of noticeable when it starts to blur the background. And the fun doesn't end for you, even if you don't have like a fancy picture to use as your own wallpaper. You can still use some of the default ones that Apple provides. And with this new update, they also added a bunch more. I especially like the new like solar system wallpapers, because I like that it isn't just a picture, but it also animates when you swipe up to your home screen. And with all of these changes to the wallpaper system, it wouldn't be quite fair if they didn't actually take these features and move it to another category in their phones, which is contacts. And you can now create kind of like a mini wallpaper for all of your contacts, your friends, your family, pretty much anyone. And every time someone calls you, basically your whole screen lines up with that person. And it's much easier to identify when, oh, my brother is calling, instead of just his name being up there. Then we have a feature that I thought from the start that it would be just a gimmick, just another thing that I would never use. When you charge your phone by wire or wireless and you put it to the side, standby mode activates. You can either use it in the daytime and flick between all the three modes that it has. It basically has like these 3 pages. Number 1 is all of your widgets, and currently you can only use Apple's widgets, but I'm sure in the future you will be also able to use like custom app widgets. Number 2 is kind of like a gallery that showcases all of your photos you took by different themes like cities, people, and things like that. And number 3 are clocks, which I really like aesthetically because it's another way of just displaying time. And also in the night it has this really cool feature of just going into like red mode, like the Apple Watch Ultra mode, so it saves your eyes from blue light when you're going to bed. One feature that I actually found myself using a lot, even with iOS 16 because it got improved, was speech recognition, and just the ability to actually just hit the little microphone button on your keyboard and just talk, and it will just write down everything that you said. But in iOS 17, Apple didn't really say this directly, but it got AI involved, and it's now way more fluent, way better, and way faster. Last but not least, we have kind of like the revolutionary feature, which is personal voice, and it brings another side of AI to the iPhone. It basically takes you around 15 minutes to go through all of the phrases that it gives you, and you have to repeat it into your phone. And then you just leave it to process, probably overnight because it takes a while, and this is mostly aimed with people with voice problems, or for example, if you're gone to the dentist and you cannot talk because half of your face is numb, you can use this to actually talk to people in kind of like your voice. Okay, to end this video off, I still have one honorable mention, and that's instead of saying, you can only say. Also, there's another change where you don't have to say the phrase, like when you're asking multiple questions in a row, because it now just keeps on listening to your voice if you wanted something else. Like for example, if you're asking like what's the weather today, and then you can ask it right away, what's the weather for tomorrow, and it will answer you. And keep on listening until you basically say go away or stop or anything like one of those commands. Okay, so those are all of the features that I wanted to cover for the iOS 17 update, and this update will come live with the iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Pro. But if you're still deciding if you should go for the brand new 15 Pro or last year's 14 Pro with a slight discount, you can check out this video where I summarize all my thoughts over the year that I used the 14 Pro, and I will see you there.